Take your phone. Hi, everyone.
I think we're live. Well, it says live. We are live. Welcome, everyone. I'm Lauren Cotton with the Licata Group.
And I'm Pat Licata with the Licata Group. And we've got a really special guest for you today. Tena Marangi is going to give us everything we want to know about the awesome start of pickleball here in Lake of the Woods. She has some great stories to tell you about the courts and her passion for the game and the club and the committee. So we look forward to that, but we are coming to you live from Witch's Brew Cafe on Route 20 in Locust Grove.
That's right.
So we want to just kind of give you a quick little tour of Witch's Brew, and then we'll get right to Tena.
All right. So I'm going to turn this around real quick. Hopefully it'll cooperate. All right. So here we are inside Witch's Brew. It's a little dark, but hopefully you can see that my lighting isn't great, but it is a really cute, quaint little coffee shop, and they have other things other than coffee. So if you're not a coffee drinker, you want to make sure that you stop by and have tea. They have some bakery items. You can see their full menu up there. It's a very extensive menu. And then we also have bakery items, and they have sugar-free options. And did we mention adult lattes? If you haven't had one, you need to. So we hope that you will stop by and support this local business, Witch's Brew Cafe in Locust Grove. All right. So we're going to turn you back around. Actually, I'm not going to. We're going to introduce. All right. Let me try to zoom in a little bit on you. Nope, wrong way. Sorry. We're new. We're new with this technology. We're not the best. But all right, go ahead. Take it away. We're going to talk to you a little bit about pickleball today.
All right, Tena, let's go.
Hi, I'm Tena Marangi, and I'm the current chair of the Pickleball Tennis Committee at Lake of the Woods. Let me tell you a little bit about pickleball and its origin. It's been around for actually about 57 years now, and it was established by a backyard group of people in Washington State that wanted to do something fun and exciting for the summer because they had kids and grandkids that were bored. So they invented this game of pickleball with the funny name, and that the rumor is it's because of a dog that they had that kept stealing their ball.
Really?
Yes. Yep. It's played with a short wiffle ball, like, you know, not short. The paddle is shorter than tennis.
Okay.
It's more like a combo of ping pong and tennis, but a shorter paddle with a baseball size wiffle ball. That is, there's two varieties if you're playing indoor versus outdoor because of the wind. It's played normally with a foursome, but it can be done with two people, which is a much harder, faster game because of the court size.
Right.
But the court size is one of the big draws to pickleball. It's shorter than tennis. A lot of tennis players, professional tennis players, have now given up tennis and gone into pickleball because it's fun once you start it. It's addictive. I got into it on basically a day. Come and play this if you think you're so good. And I've been playing tennis for 55 years. I played it one time and I was hooked. I gave up tennis.
Oh, wow.
We had about 20 people here at Lake of the Woods on an old asphalt court that we were playing on when this started. And
What year was that, Tena? Excuse me for interrupting.
It was at least, I started 10 years ago. We actually have the Florida champion that's here that got the courts and put them together, but it never grew to a club size. It never grew past 20 people even once I started. And half of those were snowbirds, so they left for the winter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So once I started and brought in Greg Stoner, his passion was like mine, and we started recruiting people. And it was amazing. Within a year or two, we had a club that we started because we had over 250 people and became the largest club at Lake of the Woods.
Wow.
Now, at that point, were you playing on actual pickleball courts, or were there tennis
Hand-drawn.
courts? Okay.
Hand-drawn.
Pickleball courts, that was an old parking lot with a fence around it.
Okay.
There was a fence around it. And it had cracks and grass in the middle because it was
Parking lot, yeah, old
poorly
parking lot,
kept,
yeah.
You know, and we would get there and try to put killer on the grass, and we'd paint our lines again, but it was just, it was a sad situation. So as the club grew, I started recruiting interest through the board of directors, whoever was current at that time, and talking to the GM about getting money to take 2 tennis courts, of which we had 6, and tennis has been a slower sport nowadays. But I wanted to turn 2 tennis courts into 6 pickleball courts. Long story short, this took almost 2 years of constant
Oh, wow.
needling them to give me money, you know, let me do it. And they finally, I think, basically threw me off the podium and said, fine, give her the money. We'll come up with this, but give us a plan. So I drew up the plans and the RFP, and they used that to get the courts. Now we have 6 beautiful courts, lighted, which is pretty unheard of in Virginia. You
Right.
don't find many lighted courts that are open from 7 to 11, 7 days a week.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
It is amazing. And there were so many people, and it became of such interest to the board of directors that they suggested we merge with tennis and form a committee. One of their 21 committees,
Yeah.
that because we did have capital assets and things we needed to take care of, and it was such a fast-growing sport, which is the fastest-growing sport in the world. In
Oh,
fact,
wow.
There's over 6 million people worldwide.
Wow.
And not only is it fast-growing, it's going up by 20-some% a year, and now they have 70 countries that play, and if we get to 75, apparently they will allow us in the Olympics.
Really?
Yeah, so they've already started the petitioning. There's USA Pickleball, and they are sort of like the governing group that gives us new rules and regulations every year, and everybody buys into them and, you know, has their memberships and get membership deals, and it's great. But
Yeah, so we might see it at the upcoming Olympics.
There you go.
and it would be great and well watched, just like
I'm sure it would.
everything else is, because of the interest.
Yeah.
The stars have put in their own. I mean, you've got Leonardo DiCaprio, George Clooney. They've put in their own pickleball courts.
Really?
It's been on the Today Show within the last month, and their members played some. It's really taken over.
Right.
And I bet their courts aren't any nicer than yours that
No.
you designed. There you go.
You know, there's a place in Florida that is considered the pickleball capital of the world, and I can't even keep up with how many courts they have. Last time I heard it was like 152. But
Oh
they
my
have
gosh.
all the big tournaments now. I've known people, when you talk about tournaments, we have internal tournaments and we bring in some external people. That's nothing compared to these people that have quit their jobs, and I know some of them here in Virginia at Fawn Lake that quit their jobs and are now doing nothing but the pickleball circuit,
Wow.
competing and making money.
Wow. Who would have
And
thought?
enough money.
I know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how big of a sport it is in America.
And it's an all ages sport,
It's in
correct?
all ages. People tend to think that it's a sport that is for older people. It is for older people. I won't say it's not, because it's an easier sport to cover than covering a tennis court.
Right.
But it's not just for older people. Only 17% are over 65.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
25% are under 25, and the rest are in the middle. So it has become so well known and so popular that it's covering every generation.
So tell me a little bit about how I would get started as a beginner. I've never played, but if I were interested, do I have to know how to play?
You don't have to know anything. We give lessons.
Oh, you do?
We give free lessons. I won't give you the time or date because that tends to
Right,
change. but
right.
Weekly, we give free lessons.
Okay.
We will let you use a paddle. The club membership dues at only $10 a year covers the
Oh.
balls.
Wow, okay.
So your supplied balls. I've had people call me on the weekend and say, hey, I've got some family in, they'd like to play pickleball, can you help us out? I'll take them paddles. I have some spare paddles.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And we supply everything you need. We'll let you play a couple times to see if you like it, and joining the club is cheap. But the big thing is you join and pay for the amenity, just like all our other amenities, but it is super affordable. It's
Right.
$60 a year
Oh.
for everyday play as much as you want to do.
Right.
Per person, and a family can be in for $100. We
Oh, okay.
have, if we look at how many families are listed and all the members, we have over 400 people.
Wow.
Over
Who
400.
You
would
have
have
done
thought?
an amazing
Yeah.
job growing that,
Yes.
for sure.
So,
All right, so I have one more question.
Sure.
If I am not a competitive person by nature, and I just want to play for fun, I hear pickleball is very competitive. I know my neighbor, they're very competitive. If I just wanted to go and play for fun, am I in the way of people who are
no.
competitive or?
What we find is that like people tend to stick together and play together. We have things called deal pickle where you get a feel for the people that are your level. They shuffle cards, 4 people get up to play. It's like, oh, that person's a little bit too strong for me. Then you learn to sign up with people that you like. We give everybody out their email address or phone number so that they can contact. And normally we have a sign-up genius where people schedule their play, who they want to play with. You put it on the list and you find who you feel comfortable
Okay,
with.
well, that's
We
good.
We have a group of women that comes out every day.
Oh, really?
There's a bunch of them,
Yeah.
and they like a social game.
That's me.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people
That would
like
be me.
that.
I want to
You
play.
know,
I want to have fun.
There's 2 extremes. There's the social, the slower group, and then there's the highly competitive, which I'm a part of. That
I don't want to
plays
play
with
with
all
you.
the boys and tries to kill every ball.
You'd
But
be
there's-
mad at me the whole time, and I'd be laughing.
You know, it takes one time, and people say, oh no, I don't play her. You know, she's just way too competitive. But even though competitive, usually people have pickleball etiquette, which is something that there actually is a rule book of pickleball etiquette that tells you these are the things
yeah.
you do. You tap paddles after each game. You don't get mad. You don't scream and yell. You try not cursing. Okay, every now and then one flies out. I can't deny that, but you know, it's like, oops, sorry. But you have more of a fun social connection.
Right.
People seem to like that as much as they do the play.
Right.
Because tennis isn't all that social. You're too far away.
Right.
You're much closer in this and crossing paths constantly. So
Okay.
people have a much better, interaction. And then you switch. You switch partners. You move around. You can go to the next court and play with somebody else. We have closed groups where you come out and you're already playing with the 4 people. You bring your family. You pay a $5 fee for people that are not members and don't live here, which is again reasonable because you can play all day that day. Come back.
Yeah, very
So
reasonable.
if I understand correctly, if it's $60 to pay for the tennis / pickleball
Yeah, it will give you
amenity,
both. You'll get
and
the
then
combos.
$10 for the club,
For
if
the
you
club.
want to join the club, that includes the ball. So for $70 a year, unlimited play.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
What a bargain!
Yeah.
It is a bargain.
That
It
is
is a bargain. When you get out there and play, because people that really get hooked and want to come out, you could spend that in 2 weeks just
Yes,
playing.
yes.
We will allow what we call day players. That was part of the rule book when I was working with the management, that we could have day players that could come out, and for $5 a day, you could see what it was like. Or if you really didn't want to play that much and you thought it behooved you to only pay $5 a day and come out, we allow that.
Right.
You just have to sign a waiver
Right.
that, they're not liable. So
Yeah.
it is allowable, and if the courts are full and you come out as a day payer that has, paid the money, and we've now got a QR code to do that easily, one of the courts will have to be vacated and give it to you.
Oh, wow.
Over the
Okay.
wall.
very nice.
Well, I had heard that you were the queen of pickleball, and I must say that your passion really is,
I am passionate.
You've
Amazing.
lived up to that name.
yes,
I'm passionate about it,
you
and
truly have. And
I know a lot about it.
Lauren and I are very similar, so maybe one day
We need to
we'll
play.
be a day player. Or we'll laugh a lot. Anyway. A social day
Socially.
player.
If you would just try it, I mean, people that haven't wanted to, you know, I would say, just one time, I'll come out there and play with you and play a general game. You just get it back over. You know, I've had people do that, and they're out there every day now,
Right.
3 times a day.
Yeah, I'd love to take you up on that. I would
And
love
that
to do
must
that.
be, it must be rewarding to you
Oh, it has been.
to see people who were afraid, for lack of a better word, to try it, and then you see them hooked.
Yeah.
And it's clearly, it's got to be good for you to do that.
Hip replacements, knee replacements, you know, arthritis. I have arthritis through my body from Lyme disease. So, but I can move and play pickleball.
Right.
You know, once I warm up.
Yeah.
I can play pretty well.
Yeah.
So everybody can play at their level. That's the nice thing about it. And there's people at everyone's level. We have people in their 90s.
Oh,
Oh my God. Lauren, there's no excuse.
my
We can
people.
do that.
We do.
Yeah.
Always managed.
That's amazing.
And he's actually a pretty good player.
Is he?
We have quite a few in their 80s that are very competitive and good players.
Yeah. We need to look into it.
If anyone would like more information, where would they go, Tina? Do they call you? Do they go online? What's the best way?
If they're at Lake of the Woods, they can go online, they can look on the roll.org website, look for the amenities, and just follow down to pickleball. It gives you some more details. They will have access to the committee. You can see some of the minutes, the things we talk about, issues coming up, and they can always call me as the
Perfect.
chair of the committee. Always.
Perfect.
So,
All right. Do you want to put your number out there?
Sure.
Okay.
It's 540-972-8964. Call me anytime with any questions. And
Right,
you can also look in the lake cards, and you will see when, to go back to where they have all the different amenities and things lined up, you can see when the teaching sessions are offered.
Oh,
It's
okay.
usually, I believe, Thursday at maybe 10:10 inside. They try to do the inside, but we do have an inside court. The inside court, so that you don't, for the first time, have problems with wind and sun and anything else that might affect you.
That makes sense.
Right.
All right.
Thank you, Tina. We greatly appreciate it.
And I hope to see you guys out there.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for joining us for LicataLive. We'll see you next time. Thank you.